Now then, so this year we've just finished at the Vista Festival, which is a day-long celebration in Pearson's Park. It was this year, really good. But we was asked to do a workshop during the day, so obviously we've got hundreds of people coming in and going out. So this is some bunting we made to just show people what it was like, and obviously our young people made it with the football on at the moment. This is an obvious one, but this is bunting that we did, and can you see that? Yeah, you can see this. But what we did, because obviously people would like to take things away, is we made flags on the day, which I kind of like that one. That's a nice. Just look at that one. That's cool. Okay, so what we're starting with is you cut a piece of lining material into a triangle, you decorate it up and you stick it on a stick. It's kind of that simple, but there's a few little things along the way just to make life a little bit easier for us. Again, you make a template, you put it on the material, you cut it out. With this lining material, it's really thin and really cheap, so you can get quite a lot of it. If you fold it up, you can cut it in threes, because it's so thin, so that speeds up your cutting the. So you only have to draw on one template to actually cut out three. So that's kind of really cool. So I'll move the camera, let you have a look. So yeah, if you can hear them in the background, which they've actually just stopped at the moment, but you might have heard when the first put the camera on. They're practicing for the play, which is songs from The Greatest Showman. So that's kind of really cool in the background. I kind of like that going on there. So yeah, so I'll change the camera and I'll show you what we need to do. Right. So the first thing you need to know is you can actually do this with ordinary felt tip pens. They don't have to be fabric pens or anything. Fabric pens don't leak as much. Because what you'll see with this is it kind of leaks into the rest of the material. So if you're doing a specific design, that's quite difficult. But if you're doing something a little bit more abstract, then it looks nice. And if you're waving a flag about, I think the more abstract the better, really. So these are great. Obviously, if it gets wet, it'll run straight away. And there's no way of fixing them. So if you do want something a little bit more permanent, or if it's going to go outside and it might get wet, then use the permanent markers or the fabric pens, because the fabric pens, once you iron them, they are pretty much, you can wash them and everything. So, but this is cool for just making quick flags. So, but as you're drawing, it does go through the material with it being such thin, flimsy material. So always put a piece of paper down, because what happens is it's got nothing to do with the table getting dirty. What happens is the pen goes through, it soaks through material, goes onto the table. When your material goes back on it, it soaks back up into the material, so it ruins your design. Whereas that just doesn't happen if you've got a little piece of paper down. Nice and easy, little quick tip there. The other thing is, this is the stick, and we need to stick that onto there. Now if you do your design right up to the end, and it's important, a bit of design there, and then when you've rolled that round, you lose that much. So it's always good to put your double-sided tape on first. So just measure it. And it doesn't have to be 100% accurate. And don't forget the double-sided tape trick. You just fold that over a wee bit, bring it back so you've got a tab, and then you stick it down. Now the thing is, the easiest way to do this is to do your design now, before you put your stick on, because if you put your stick on, it gets in the way and you're moving it about and little things like that. So probably wise, do your design now and then stick your stick on. So leave that piece of tape, the backing on the double-sided tape. So right, I'm going to speed everything up. I'm going to do a fairly quick design. So I'll speed it up from now, and and then just finish it off at the end. So I'll see you after all the squeaking of speeding up the film. Okay, right now, so we've coloured it all in. As you can see, it's quite nice where the way it bleeds in with each other, and you get these different colours coming out. And that'll kind of develop over a few more minutes. So take the tape off. You get your stick. You start at one side, and then you just roll it as tightly as you can over the, push it nice and tightly down, and you have a lovely little flag. So I'd like to apologise for all the stopping and starting with the film. I've had problems with my batteries. Not problems, I just didn't bother charging them. So yeah, thank you very much for viewing, viewer, and we'll see you next week.